Shabbat Shalom. I'm Rabbi Sharon Henry. I'm joined tonight by my partners, our cantoral soloist Molly May, our music director and accompanist Don McGahan, and Olivia Tucker, who's running all of our controls. So happy to be with you tonight as we welcome in Shabbat from wherever you are, and we hope that you'll let us know where you are in the chat at some time during the service. I'm going to let Molly explain to you or just invite you to gather your Shabbat materials together so that we can all bring in Shabbat together. Molly?
Shabbat Shalom. I invite you to get your candles ready, whatever candles you've got. Here go mine. You can kind of see the tops of them. And your grape juice and your wine and your challah or whatever bread you've got. And follow whatever directions feel comfortable to you in terms of praying together and facing east. And I look forward to celebrating Shabbat virtually with everybody.
And Shabbat Shalom to you. I'm honored as always to share in Shabbat services with you. I would invite you, if you have a prayer book, I'm on page 10 with the duo of the familiar melodies that we know with Hine Matov, and would you please join me? Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim 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 shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov yadadai yadadai yadadai. Hine Matov yadadai yadadai. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
We're going to light our Shabbat candles together. I brought my family. I hope that you've got yours either with you virtually or in person.
They do seem to work.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue on page 24 as we welcome the Shabbat angels with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
From Psalm 96, Shir Chadash, sing a new song. We welcome Shabbat, we welcome the beauty of Shabbat, the Shabbat bride, with Lecha Dodi. It's on page 20. And we're just going to sing Lecha Dodi and Shabbat Shalom all together.
We invite you to take this moment to put comments on the YouTube feed. Anything that you'd like to share, Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat wish. If you have any news that you'd like to share, if you'd like to tell us where you're watching from, where you're participating from. I'd like to share that our colleague, Rabbi Bert Schumann, was honored by Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion for his 25 years of service to the Jewish community. That means that he was awarded the Doctor of Divinity And we wish him mazel tov and thank you. We look forward to another 25 or 30 or 40 or 50 years of service to the Jewish community. So please share on YouTube, and we will continue with Sadiq Katamar, our last Kabbalat Shabbat prayer on page 22.
As we join in the Tzadikat Tamar, I'm just going to be using my voice of the piano. I actually do better playing this one with my eyes closed, so I encourage you to sing loudly so that I might hear you all the way here in Mars. And now as we prepare for our call to worship the Baruch Hu, I would invite you, as you are able, to stand and find east in your home. I'm actually, I play east here in my home as I offer this prayer, this reading on page 29. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
And on page 33, the top of the page, as you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. If you have risen, you may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Just a moment, we'll sing together Micha Mocha. So in preparation for that, I'd like to share a poem that was written by Mark Nazimova. It's called Redemption. The Israelites walked into the Reed Sea 1 foot at a time. What were they thinking about as the water rose up their legs, chilling their hearts, advancing toward their open mouths? We continue to walk here, now, 1 foot at a time. On our better days, forward. Alone, I cannot reach the far shore without drowning. Somehow I don't go under. The person to my right holds me up. Something I cannot see holds him up. Blessed is the source of help so often unexpected. I step forward, the sea is vast. Baruch atah Adonai al nisecha shebachol yom imanu. Blessed are you, gracious one, for your miracles that greet us every day. Continue with Micha Mocha.
It's on page 40 in the Siddur. If you're with us in the book, page 40. Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. On page 42, Ashkivenu, our people's nighttime prayer.
We continue on page 44 with V'shamaru. V'shamaru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam beni uven bnei Yisrael oti leolam leolam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom ha-shavi Shabbat vayinafash.
Beginning on page 46, and on the several sets of pages before that through page 62 is our tefillah, which we will be doing silently after this meditation that we're going to do together. The beginning words are Yalalai, and then there are some more words asking us if we are ready, if we are prepared. So we'll hopefully be seeing those soon.
Am I
ratzon imre fi vegion libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri
Continue now with Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. We think of all those we know who are suffering, struggling with anxiety and addiction, loneliness, loss, isolation, fear, grief, all grieving something, some loss or some disappointment. Many of us are physically ill or battling disease. Tonight we think especially of Millard Biloon, Gary Goldhammer, and Zev Ben Simcha. If you'd like to add the name of someone you're thinking about tonight who is in need of healing, refuah shlema, healing of body, healing of a spirit, please add that person's name to the YouTube comments. If you have a name that you'd like us to read aloud, please get us that name. We continue now with Misha Barak. For all those we know and for all those we don't know personally, we send out this prayer of healing.
This week, we read a double portion, Bahar and Bechukotai, and we complete the reading of the book of Leviticus. Last year, around this time, we read the singular portion, Bahar, because it was a Jewish leap year, and it was on Shabbat afternoon of May the 18th, during which the traditional reading is actually the first Aliyah of the following week's portion, that I was privileged to have organized a women's mincha service and was treated to a most inspiring Devar Torah given by a dear friend. Many of you know that I am the director of the Pittsburgh chapter of Hazamir, the International Jewish Teen Choir. Many of you were also privileged to attend the Hazamir performance given on May 19th of 2019 at Temple Sinai, where about 90 teens and several conductors, not to mention several parents, from all over the country came to Pittsburgh to present a concert of solidarity. Additionally, about 30 of those Hazamir teens and a handful of directors and parents came early to spend Shabbat here in Pittsburgh, staying with host families according to their varying needs. Hazimir is a pluralistic organization, and Jewish musicians at all levels of observance and involvement participate. It is truly a wonderful experience as a teen singer and as a conductor, and for many parents, to form connections beyond practices and denominations based on a common devotion to excellence in Jewish choral music. Shabbat observance and Jewish observance at any Hazimir events is designed in such a way that those who are more observant are able to fully participate and everyone feels included all together. I wanted to recreate the women's minyan similar to how it always happens at the festival in Shabbaton every March. The service is well attended and beautifully led by young women and non-binary singers of Hazimir and facilitated by women cantor conductors. So, here I am with a group of young singers, some from here in Pittsburgh and some from out of town, and some lovely parents, and my friend Susan from Central New Jersey. Susan and I are great friends. We are fellow Hazimir chapter conductors. We love singing the alto parts. We're really good at it. And we also have the same birthday. Parshat Bahar instructs us about the sabbatical year and the Jubilee year, and we find further information about dealing with redemption of property and other laws of real estate, which should interest me way more than they do, and there are some interesting and topical details about dealing with the care of your own kin. One of the details that Susan pointed out for us that I remembered was that the portion opens with Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe Bahar Sinai lemor, and God spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai, saying. It seemed like an insignificant difference from all the other times that God spoke to Moses, because God is always talking to Moses, and all kinds of parshiot begin that same way, Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe. So we were paying close attention and saving that detail for later, because there are neither typographical missteps nor unintentional word choices in the Torah. It's all on purpose. These items in Parshat Bahar have a common thread, and specifically, Susan had showed us that the common thread here was the idea of separation. We take something and separate it out in order to make it special, in order to make it holy. The Torah says here, in this Parsha, that in the sabbatical year, we are supposed to let the land lie fallow, and it is said that God provides enough in the 6th year to take us through the 7th and 8th year as well. Every 50th year is the Jubilee year, Yovel, where land is returned to original owners, the land again lies fallow, and Israelite slaves are freed. Why is this of interest to a group of teen singers? Why is this of interest to most of us who live in the US and maybe we don't work in agriculture? Again, the idea of separation. We're taking time, separating it out for a reason, and making it holy. Every week, as Susan also reminded us, we take the time of Shabbat and we separate it from whatever else is going on in our lives. The group of people at the table, a wide variety of women and gender nonconforming folks, all Jewish and all different, had also gathered there in the first place because they had chosen to take something and make it holy. Their musical work, their talents, their gifts. Those talents could be used for many purposes. Susan commended us for using our musical gifts to elevate the sacred and secular texts of our people. Why Bahar Sinai? Getting back to the beginning of the Parsha, it's clear that despite there being a long series of interactions between God and Moses on Mount Sinai, these instructions were highlighted as having come from Mount Sinai. The phrasing itself is separated from the rest of the numerous paragraphs that all seem to begin in the same way. Much like last week, emor instead of lemor. The distinction is there for a reason. These words are said to have come out of chronological order. Indeed, there's not nearly as much plot advancement in the book of Leviticus. There are a lot of instructions. It's been about a year since that Shabbat and that beautiful concert. It's about 2 months until Susan and I celebrate our birthday. Our plan was to be together at the North American Jewish Choral Festival for our birthday in July, celebrating with our fellow conductors and our other assorted singing friends at the most wonderful choir camp for grown-ups. Over the past few years, I've attended the festival with members of our choir, Rod of Shirah, as well as members of Temple Sinai's intergenerational choir. Of course, the current situation has necessitated the cancellation of the festival, also canceling our grand plans to celebrate our birthday. Whether we like it or not, whether we are ready for it or not, the two of us, really the three of us, because a third conductor also shares a birthday with us but hasn't gotten to celebrate with us yet, will still mark that date on the calendar. That date will approach and will pass, and somehow we'll find a way to mark the occasion. Similarly, whether we are ready for it or not, whether we've made all the perfect preparations or not, Shabbat comes around every week. As Susan mentioned, and as the Torah portion says, we're taking time, separating it, and making it holy. Because I'm at home, and time can sometimes feel like an illusion, Jewish ritual observances have become more important to me to bring inside the home. Counting the Omer every day, and previously I'd remember that it was happening and make sure it appeared in every service, but this year I'm committed to counting every day. By the way, today is day 36, so when we count after my Dvar, it will be the next number after that. I'm baking challah every week for Shabbat. I'm making Havdalah every single week. The separation of the secular and the sacred, the ordinary and the special has become that much more meaningful in our current situation. The fact that you are joining us online means that you're also marking this time as holy. I invite you to search the texts and search your hearts and reach out to your friends, in a metaphoric way for now, to find more ways to separate time for holy purposes. The book of Leviticus, which we are concluding tomorrow, has been especially relevant for us over the past several weeks of isolation. Despite the book seeming to be, as the kids say, old-timey, we always approach the Torah as we are, based on the ideas and the feelings brought forth, if not always the black fire literal elements in the scrolls, but just the feelings and the essences. We don't need to overinterpret it or gloss over the parts that make us uncomfortable, but as we have often done, we can confront the text. This year's reading of Leviticus has been especially meaningful. Between the sacrifices and the plagues, the ideas about uncovering nakedness and the idea that we ourselves can be holy because God is holy, it all reads differently because we are different. There is a joke floating around that tradition is peer pressure from dead people. But peer pressure isn't always bad. Connecting with others, past, present, or future, is an essential part of the human experience. There's a specific mention of the merits of our ancestors and God remembering the covenant in the second portion for this week in Bechukotai. And there's a whole word order thing that I really wanted to dive into from there as well, but that discussion ended up on the cutting room floor because there's just really only so much time. The connection in last year's women's service and around the table, despite the individual differences in how we all may view our traditions, came about because we had all taken an interest in how certain lucky words and phrases are separated and paired with music to become songs. Certain aspects of our talents are taken out and separated for holy purposes, and we, along with several other local and visiting singers and families, took that time of Shabbat, as our people do every week, and separated it for the purpose of making time holy. Shabbat comes around every week, but every time is different. I hope that you find holiness in your observance of Shabbat and that you continue to make great memories each time. Shabbat Shalom.
Yasher Koach, thank you to Molly for the Devar Torah. Really nice to learn with you and from you. So as you suggested, it's time for us to count the Omer. If you have a book and you'd like to turn it to page 278, and as Molly prompted us, today was the 36th day. Hineni Muchana Umuzmana Kayem Mitzvat Aseh Shal Sfirat HaOmer. I'm ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al Sfirat HaYomer. Hayom Shloshim Ushva Yom Shehem Chamisha Shavuot Ushne Yamim LaOmer. Today is the 37th day. That is 5 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. Let's separate this day out and use it for good, to bring more healing and more compassion and more peace into the world. Continue now with Elena.
We begin to wrap our service up on page 282. And once again, as you're able, rise in body or spirit and face east together. Alinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 285. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Kiddush is on page 294. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and all of those whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. Susan Jo Bear Gluck, Rabbi Sissy Koran, Lois Finkel, Ed Frim, Mary Del May, Ruby May Nearhood, Barbara Rosenfeld, Doris Dory Rudolph, Thomas Silverman, Bill Smith, Robert Sommerfeld, Milton Tenenbaum, Joan Whitehill, Marty Wolfson. We also remember those whose yahrzeit falls during this week. Remember Esther Harris Ackerman, David Furman, Leonard Glassner, Barbara Greenwald, Herman Kamen, Herbert Labby, Louis Lehman, Harold Levy, Howard A. Mermelstein, Irene Nelkin, Nancy Newman Frank, Maish Rosenthal, David Siegel, Alan Siegel, Frida Sokol, Amy Stevens, Lauren Webster. I invite you to add names on the in the comment section. Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be for blessing. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrachu te v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'gala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei almaya, Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitzpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasa, v'yitadar v'yitalel v'yitalal shmei dekudasha b'rechu, Le'ela min kol berchata v'sherata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen.
Hello, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to share some announcements for our week to come. A few really exciting things this week. On Wednesday at 4 o'clock, we're having a conversation with Erica Strasberger, for the council person for District 8, as well as Leah Lizar Rondo, from 412 Food Rescue, talking about what's going on in our city and how to help people who are most in need, especially with food insecurity. This is going to be a conversation on Zoom on Wednesday at 4 p.m. And we hope that everyone will be able to tune in and ask their questions and start making some plans for how to be involved with social justice and social action work that is going on at this very crucial moment. On Thursday, on a lighter note, we continue our Music and Culture at Home program this week, featuring our congregant and esteemed poet, Valerie Bacharach, who's going to be sharing poetry. So that's 3 o'clock on Thursday. Also on Zoom, and these links are all in the Shalomogram, where you'll also find the regular events, the Torah study that we have tomorrow morning, led by Bill Klingensmith, as well as Torah in Our Times on Monday, the Sewing and Knitting Group on Tuesday, Family Center Shabbat on every Friday now, as well as many events for the youth group, for kids and for parents as well, to come together and talk about the common and uncommon experiences that we're going through. In the next few weeks, keep an eye out for Shavuot plans. As we keep on counting the Omer, we're counting towards Shavuot, receiving Torah at Mount Sinai. And while we are not going to have the in-person Shavuot, Leil, Tikkun, Leil Shavuot, the all-night study sessions at the JCC, we are going to be having those online. So our own Rabbi Bisno is going to be leading one on humor and spirituality. So there'll be information for that in the Shalomogram. If for some reason you're not seeing those, or the few email blasts throughout the week, please keep on messaging us. I've gotten a few emails, so I know there's some folks who haven't made it onto the list, and we really want to make sure that everybody is able to join and just be together in a time that can really make us feel very apart. So we're all here. After the service, we will be in the Zoom Oneg room. The link is below. I'm going to bring up everyone now, and Don is going to lead us in Kelohenu.
And just in case you forgot, that's on page 322, and I'm pretty sure you'll know this. Ein Kelohenu, ein Kadonenu, ein Kamakenu, ein Kamoshienu, Michelohenu, Michadonenu, Michamakenu, Moshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
Just a moment, we'll continue with Kiddush. I'd like to thank all of our participants in tonight's service, everyone in the May family, the May Square over here. We're missing Chuck right now, but we have David and Jesse and Andrew, and Chuck is missing, but thank you to Olivia, thank you to Molly, thank you to Don. I'd like to introduce you to Drew Greenwald, who's a member of our Bar Mitzvah class, and he will lead us in Kiddush and Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uv'ratzon hini lanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh Zecher litziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu v'charta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim, Shabbat Shalom. I have this challah here, which my wife baked this afternoon. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom. See everybody in the Zoom Oneg in just a moment. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hello.
Focus on what you're doing, boys.
Shabbat